Approaching Tonopah, 3 miles. Yoo-hoo. As I travel the highways and byways of south central Arizona in the great Sonoran Desert for a wintertime desert location, today's destination is Saddle Mountain. I have arrived at my destination, Saddle Mountain. Oh, shut up. What time is it? 7 o'clock in the morning. Forget that. I'm going back to bed. See you later. There's nothing like a good cup of coffee in the morning when you get up in the morning from camping. I have to use instant coffee because I'm in the desert. No hookups. So I try to buy the best instant coffee I can. Put the boiling water into my styrofoam cup and then give the cup a good stir. Here we go. First taste in the morning. That is good. Yum. Well, good morning. In the inaugural edition of Travel Trailer Camping Journal, produced by Sam's Camping Videos. This is episode 1, A Day in the Life. Sorry about that earlier scene. I was like still sleeping and that virtual alarm clock just went off too early. I had to get my sleep, people. I really do have to get my sleep. So for today, this is a day in the life, and the camera is going to follow me around from the time I wake up, which you saw earlier, which I didn't really wake up. I went back to bed for about an hour, through eating all my meals, having some activities outside, and some fun. So first up is I'll have to make my breakfast after I get showered and dressed. So let's get on to it for today's activities in a day in the life. Time to emerge from my trailer for the morning after I showered and got dressed. Good sunny morning, a great day is coming. It's one of my favorite times of the day, and that's making breakfast. So first up for breakfast is the sausages here. And they usually go in the microwave, but I'm boondocking today, so I don't have the use of a microwave. But I can make them in my trailer, so I'll show you that next. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap 2 of these little sausage patties in this aluminum foil here. Do them really tight. See? And what I'm going to do next, I'm going to put them on a little gizmo I've had for a long time. And this for toasting bread over a little gas grill, but in this case it's my stovetop in my travel trailer. So here it is. I was going to be toasting 3 pieces of bread here with my breakfast, and I left a little opening on the side here to put this sausage packet in there. I'll go ahead and put that in there leave it so I can get to it. Next up is I'm going to be frying 3 eggs. Well, I'm making my eggs right now, and my toast. Get a little look-see of these. I'm like shake up my eggs a little bit here so that they fry up evenly. I like sunny side up myself. Yes, I do. Time to turn these toasts around. Oh, that got browned quite nicely there. That tells me I need to shift this toaster back a little bit. Now I'm going to turn over my sausage. And we'll just let those all cook for a while. And when I get back to you, I'll be ready to chow down on my breakfast. Time to eat my eggs. And they're always usually pretty good. Yep, that was a good bite. Nothing like breakfast when you're camping. Even though it is in a travel trailer. I used to make this same meal when I was tent camping outside. The eggs would get cold, the toast would get cold, but inside they stay nice and hot. And it's more convenient too. Well, that was a good breakfast, but I have some things to wash up afterward, and I didn't do last night's dinner and clean up either, so I've got this tub full of things to do here. So I went out back and I filled up the gray tub with hot water, and I did that instead of doing it in the sink because the water, while it gets hot, just runs down to the gray water tank and fills it up. And this is just one of my morning chores. Yes, it's a chore I don't think that anyone really likes to do, and that's washing dishes. Another of my morning chores is I have to replace the empty propane tanks in my portable propane heater. I prefer doing this chore in the morning as opposed to at night. Who wants to be doing this stuff at night before you go to bed? And then there's the water chore, topping off my fresh water tank in my travel trailer with the water I brought with me. Oh, it all got done now. It's all full. Fun with drones. Let's see how well I fly today with my new camera drone. Well, that's so far so good. Keep it up. I'm still a newbie at flying this drone. Oh, I'm gonna crash! At least I found my drone. Let's try again. Oh, that was a good shot. I can see my campsite. Wow, that looks nice. Maybe I'm getting the hang of it. Well, now I'm flying around in circles. Gonna crash again. had fun flying my quad-copter drone, but it's always good to relax around the campsite late in the morning before lunch. I usually do that by sitting down and reading a book, but I also like to just view my surrounding landscape. Saddleback Mountain. The views here are just fantastic. I love this desert. It's the perfect place for wintertime camping when you live in south central Arizona. Yes, I'm king of the desert. Well, not really. I still love this area. We must protect it. Okay, today's lunch meal will be a hamburger. See that right there? Okay. I always like season him up with some garlic salt, seasoning salt, and I always like to finish it off with some spicy Montreal steak seasoning. Pat it all down pretty good, and then I'll do the other side as well. Okay, he's lit. Set him on medium there. Should be good enough. See? Yum, yum. This hamburger is not ready to turn over yet. Have to wait some more. Let me check on it now. Starting to see some blood come to the surface, so I'm going to toss it over on the other side. And here's the bun. I went for like a big giant bun. You can't use no wimpy buns when you go camping. Come on. With sesames on it. They'll get toasted. And accoutrements will be like ketchup and mustard. And I got lettuce, onion, and tomato in this bag, which I sliced up at home a couple nights ago before I came out here. Yum, this is going to be good. Well, I'm going to toast the bun here while we wait on this hamburger to get done. Can't let it stay on there for too long. They'll burn. Let's check out these buns here. Yeah, he's good enough. Yeah, take a look at him. He's probably good enough too. Here, I'll check on this. Time to check out this hamburger here. It's like smoking. It looks like he's about done here, so I'm going to turn him off. Spray down this little itty fire here. Come back for the plate. Now it's time to dress up these toasted buns. Ketchup and mustard, phase 1. Phase 2 will be the lettuce, tomato, and onion once I get the hamburger on this. There we go. Now I gotta like dress this up with my lettuce, tomato, and onion. Oh, and I spilled it. Hey, I won't tell no one of you, don't tell them. Okay, there. Put it on there. There we go. Smash it down. Now just missing one extra thing here. Oh, my head got in there. So in the garbage. That's some Pringles potato chips. Why Pringles? Well, they're in a nice container here, so they're perfect for camping actually. Pringles. So there you go. Now I'm just gonna eat this on down and get back to you later. Time for lunch. I just love hamburgers for lunch on a camping trip, and this one is perfectly good. Well, I'm going to get ready to go on the hike. It's going to be up toward where I go jeep packing at, and then I'm going to climb up that hill or mountain or whatever it is as far as we can go, so I can get back by hopefully around 3:30. But first, just a little trip over to a sacred spot. And it's just a few steps away from my campsite. And here it is. Probably asking what's so sacred about it. Well, over 2 weeks ago, my wife and I took our Jeep over here right to this campsite for only one purpose, and that was to scatter the ashes of her father and brother. We've been in possession of those ashes for quite a few years, and we both felt it was now time to put them to their final rest in the desert they love so much. So we scattered them in this area right here, and now father and son are together in all eternity in this wilderness. So let's get off on our hike to a spot where I go jeep packing at, and then we'll climb up the neighboring mountain next to it and try to get back here by 3:30. Okay, I'm getting ready to go on the Saddle Mountain trail. It's both a foot trail and an off-road trail. This is the one I have to take to get right over there for jeep packing, which I'll be doing actually next Friday. Friday of next week I'll be coming back here to do this. That's that spot right there where you need a Jeep. You can't do it with my truck. I wouldn't even want to try to do it with my truck. I did it with the Jeep a couple weeks ago here. I forgot to put in the four-wheel drive, and my wheels were spinning coming up that little bit there. My wife was with me, so she was scared to death. But if it's in four-wheel drive, it handles it quite well. Got another little gully I have to walk through before reaching my jeep packing spot. And I climbed right up it. Okay, I've reached the spot, and it's very close to where I'm already camping. I'm gonna kind of like twirl around if you can see the trailer. It's right off there, that's all it is. And it's very close, but it just might as well be 10,000 miles away because I can't drive a truck through this trail. There's the saddle up there. Turn to the left here, and I would just jeep it on down this path right here. I can even see the fire ring I've enhanced over a couple of one-nighters I spent here jeep packing. Love this area. Yep, I've just about arrived. And you can see, like I said before, it is not that far from where I'm travel trailer camping. But you can't get a travel trailer back in here, that's for sure. Here it is, my Jeep packing camping spot for Friday of next week. Back there, I hope you can see the travel trailer. Time for some water from my old school canteen. Look behind me there. The landscape is awesome at Saddle Mountain. The swirling clouds in the sky just add to it. So our next leg of this hike is I'm going to follow this barely visible Jeep path on up a little bit further. I'll show you that. And I want to see just what we can see by going toward that mountain in the middle there, right there. I got my finger over it, got it away from it. Of course, we're not going to go up that thing. I'm not a mountaineer. Come on, people. So let's go on and follow this barely visible Jeep path, which I've actually never done since I've been up here. I've been going off in directions in the opposite way. Well, here's another fire ring further back here. Let me look at this. It's got trash in it. Looks like the remnants of freeze-dried backpacking food packages. There's even like a lot of wood back here. Look at this wood. I am taking this wood if it's still here next week. I am using this wood. I hope it's still here. Let's get back on the trail here. Getting to some rough patches now. Lots of rocks to navigate. Well, you can tell the Jeep path disappeared very quickly. Let's start a little climb here now. Heavily rocked and bouldered through here. One thing for sure, I'm not going to get lost back in here. That's because I can see my campsite just fine from here. So I can actually wander anywhere behind me to back in here and be just fine. Oh, beautiful formations of rocks around here. Give you a sense of scale, I'll put my foot out there. Can you even see my leg there? But there is a little strewn field of these rocks. And there's like a flat one right here. Scale? See? And they just go all the way up to the base of this mountain right here. So let's get away from that little strewn set here and continue climbing up our way toward, I don't know what to call this mountain. I don't know what the official name of it is. I'll just call it Tabletop Mountain for now. Put down in the comments below this video if you're a Saddle Mountain BLM land expert, and you can tell me what the name of this mountain is. I think I'm at the end of the road here. I'd really like to know. Something that you can't see from down below. But there's a wash in between where I'm standing, and it's heavily rocked and boulder, and toward this big boulder that I want to go to. And no, I'm not even going to try to traverse this. Well, there is my self-named Tabletop Mountain, and right over here was the boulder, but this was in the way. I don't know if the camera's picking up the scale of this wash, but yeah, it's a steeper wash than I've ever encountered here at Saddle Mountain. So I'm not a mountain climber. I'm not a rock climber. So I am not trying this just to satisfy my curiosity about that over there. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to turn back around and just hike it on back down to the campsite. Well, that was mildly disappointing. But there are other areas to go hiking around, even over where I'm at right now, to where I can avoid this wash. And I'll do that probably next weekend, Friday of next week, when I do Jeep packing over here. But otherwise, let me just get on back to my travel trailer campsite instead. And in the meantime, we can just look at the various kind of shrubbery and cactuses and other things that Saddle Mountain has to offer to a visitor and a camper and a hiker. Like this strange looking cactus right here. Hope you can see it in the camera. Very odd looking, very spindly. You wouldn't want to take a tumble into that thing. And there are various cactuses around here. Yeah, I can see my Jeep packing campsite with the fire ring with the big wall on it. I'm arriving at that other campsite that's further up the incline toward my self-named tabletop mountain, and with all this wood, so I'm going to definitely remember this wood being here off to my left there. Here, let's get another shot of it. Lots of wood. Here's my campfire ring, which I'll be using Friday next week. Of course, I'm assuming no one else is going to be here in the meantime. If that's the case, I don't really know what I'm going to do. Take another good look at this. Yep, I'll be coming back here on Friday next week. Let's get back on the Saddle Mountain Trail here. Yeah, I'm walking along here now on Saddle Mountain Trail. Well, that wasn't too bad of a hike. It didn't last that long, actually. So that just leaves me with more time around the campsite today before I make my dinner, which will be a steak. And I'm going to do it on the fire today instead of a barbecue grill like I originally planned. Coming up on the second of the washes, and it's the deep one. It's the bad wash. The wash that scares my wife. I'm not talking about washing clothes either. I do that. But you can look and see why any average person will say, what the heck are you doing trying to climb a Jeep up this thing? See, the wash goes down there, and this is the same wash that probably barred the path to my self-named mountain, tabletop mountain. Now where we came from, and here's the wash that goes behind the campsite. Not nearly as terrible back there. Let's climb up this thing and go back to camp. Turning back toward my campsite there. And there it is. Home sweet camp. Well, need to make dinner later on tonight, and I had scheduled a steak. I was going to do it on a small charcoal barbecue grill, but yesterday I had this flash above my head saying do it on a fire, so that's what we're going to do today. So I'm going to have to chop up some wood here and get some small pieces that will burn down to a nice fine bed of coals, and check out my hot tip on my YouTube channel regarding how to cook a steak on a campfire. Now this is the small fire that I've built within a larger fire pit here at this dispersed desert campsite. And underneath that pile are two large pieces of store-bought wood. It's to contain the rest of the fire and the smaller pieces that I'll be burning in it quite shortly now. And I've got some newspaper in there, and I've got some of that fuzzy bark in it from juniper wood, you know, but that also came from store-bought wood I got in September of last year. It was so fuzzy I just shaved off parts and put it into a plastic bag and kept it for use for a future trip like today. Nothing fancy here. It's just going to be lighting the fire with matches. There she's catching. Yeah, the fire is going now. So I just have to tend to this for about 30 minutes or so, and then let it burn down. And I'm gonna put this new grill top on here. It came from like a tabletop grill, and it's not like the ones you've seen on my previous videos. It actually has a nice long handle on it. So it has like these little grabby leaders on the end here to help it like sit on something, and it's round, so it should fit any shape that the campfire forms. So while this fire over here gets going, the next step will be to prep the steak up, and I'll show you that in a little bit. Well, my little campfire is burned down to a fine set of coals for grilling a steak over, so now it's time to prep the steak up. So I'm going to do that now. And look, it's the same grouping of seasonings I had for my hamburger at lunchtime. I got some seasoning salt, some garlic salt, and the spicy Montreal steak seasoning. First the seasoning salt, then the garlic salt, and then the spicy Montreal steak seasoning. Smash it down there. And I'll do the other side. I gotta put this little grill on here now. And don't really have any kind of rocks to put it on, so others have put their steaks right on the coals themselves, so this should be quite fine. So here's my steak. Put it right on there. Let it cook for a while. Well, I'm going to give this a look-see here. See how it's doing on the other side. There we go. It's working out. Let me check out this steak again here. It's been about 5-10 minutes since the last time. Kind of like bust him open in here. See how he looks. He needs some more cooking. Now I know the last time I did this on a campfire, it was my one and only time, and it didn't get quite done, so you have to take it a little bit longer on wood coals than you would on a gas grill or with briquettes. It's time to check out this steak one more time. Cut into him here. See if he's like getting cooked in the middle there. See if he's getting cooked in the middle there, in case you didn't hear me. He still needs some more cooking here. Well, I'm getting hungry and I'm tired of waiting around here. So I'm going to just turn him over just to see what he looks like. And I'm just going to grab him and be done with it. Now it's time. There she is. A great looking steak, isn't it? I'm going to give this a taste. No, so here's my first cut into this campfire grilled steak. Looks to be medium rare. I'll give it a taste. Wow, that is great. That tastes good. Cut into this steak. It's a good steak. I think it's medium rare. See? Well, I've got a few dishes to take care of here. So I'm just going to go ahead and take care of them now. I was tempted to wait until the morning again, but I do need one of these things in the morning. Crumple up some of this Furby fiber stuff as good as I can here. Got some little sticks that I batoned earlier. Hope I can just get this all going again. It just got too dark for me to do something right. I'm kind of cheating with the camera light that I have. Okay, I've used all my smaller pieces of wood there. It's about 7:07 in the evening, and finally sitting out by the fire I started. That's a beautiful fire. Let me give you a closer look at it there. There. Looks nice, don't it? Toward the end of a day in the life of Travel Trailer Camping Journal. Episode 1. The first one of a new series of camping videos produced by Sam's Camping Videos. And for all newbies, this is how enjoyable camping, can be with a travel trailer. If you've graduated away from tent camping, or you do the odd backpacking from time to time like I do. Looking at the campfire now, and it's nice and warm, and I'll be out here until like around 8, or whenever the campfire goes out on me, which was what it did last night. I've had a great time. I've been here for 2 days already. I arrived on Thursday and got my prime spot that I wanted. This spot I scouted perhaps at the end of August of 2016, and I said, no, I want to travel trailer camp in this spot. So I came up here in November, and it was free. There was no one occupying it. So I camped here for one night. The next morning I took a hike up to the top of the saddle, right in front of me here. It's perhaps a mile and a half. And when I came back, this entire campsite was infested with a horde of Africanized killer bees. And it took a lot of courage, for me, to well it up inside of me, to man up and cover myself up as best as I could so I could get back into my travel trailer and take stock of what I had to do. And I came to the conclusion, well, I couldn't stay here. It was a physical danger. It could have been a mortal danger. So I did what I've seen on TV, and that is I bundled up. I taped up every opening around my limbs and my neck, and I covered up my face as best as I could, with a handkerchief, and I had a hat on and gloves, and I manned up and I went back outside and just packed everything away, that I could. and within an hour I was driving out of here with a horde of bees following me down the road. But by the time I got back home, I was free of the bees, so I could only spend here one night the first time I was here in November of 2016. Now it's January of 2018, and yeah, I do hear bees every now and then because there hasn't been a hard freeze out here yet. So I do hear them. I take precautions to seal up all my water sources because that's probably what gave me away the first time I was here, and that was the water container that I use for putting out my campfires. The spout, it was open, and they're all buzzing around that thing. So I'm just going to enjoy my campfire, and I'll talk to you later on tonight when I get ready to go back into the trailer. Well, I'm done for the night out by my campfire, so it's now time to douse it. And you always douse a campfire before you go to bed. You don't leave it unattended all night. You have to douse with water. That's how forest fires start, people. So don't do that. Douse your campfire. It's time to retire for the day from a day in the life. But there's more activities in the trailer to come tonight before I hit the sack and go to sleep. Well, I'm back in the trailer now for the night. But there are some things I have to rearrange to prepare to relax on my jackknife couch before I can watch a movie on my tablet. Otherwise known as a big discombobulation has to be done. Okay, now I got everything all bobulated about in my trailer so I can lay down on my jackknife couch and watch a movie before I go to bed. Now it's time to watch my movie for the night, and it's Drone Wars, starring Corin Nemec from Parker Lewis Can't Lose, that old TV comedy from the 1980s on Fox. I also knew him from starring as Harold Lauder from the TV adaptation of The Stand by Stephen King, one of his best books ever. But Drone Wars is about an alien invasion of Los Angeles, and they use, of course, attack drones to kill people with. Well, it's not a very good movie, and the characters do stupid things, so let me move on and watch the rest of this, and then I'll have to do a massive discombobulation again. So a day in the life comes to an end. I had a great time today. and hope to do it again in a few months on my next travel trailer camping trip with another episode of Travel Trailer Camping Journal. But before the end of this episode, we still got my departure day. So stay tuned to that. It'll be right after I go to bed tonight. Good night. It's the day of my departure, and I'm up and drinking my coffee. Yeah, that's good. But I'm ready for a switch to the French press kind, so I can always have like freshly ground coffee every morning without having electricity. So if you could put down in the comments down below this video the French press that you would recommend for camping, that would be greatly appreciated. Well, today is 2 days later from a day in the life, and I'm going through my checklist right now for departing. And you should always have a checklist like this. For making your arrivals and departures and arrivals and departures. It just makes the whole process go faster, so you can get to your campsite faster when you depart your house, or when you depart your campsite to go back home. So I've already started going through mine, and so next up is going to be breakfast. And on my departure days for breakfast, I have a very simple breakfast, and I'll show you that once I shower and get dressed, and I'll talk to you then. So these are the components of a simple breakfast: styrofoam bowl, disposable, a paper napkin, plastic spoon, disposable, a little milk, grape juice. Hey, you drink orange juice, I drink grape juice. Shredded mini wheat for cold cereal. And this is what I have on the morning of departure: cold cereal with juice and coffee. It's quick. I don't dirty up anything, which I need to clean. But I also multitask while I'm eating my breakfast. I'm going through my departure checklist. Soon I'll be going home. I'm starting on my departure checklist, and one of the things I need to do is to rearrange any breakable items in the refrigerator. So I have to pack them nice and tight so they don't move around in transit. Just about have this done here. Nice and tight. Next up is the same principle. Have to minimize movement of loose items in my storage cabinets. So what I do is I put them into plastic bags, and I have styrofoam cups in the back, to minimize movement as well. Well, now I've come to the point in my checklist where I need to get rid of my excess remaining fresh water in my freshwater tank. And most travel trailers, they have a convenient way to do that. They have valves which you can get to, and you just open them up and the water just drains on the ground. But my valves are in an inconvenient place underneath my bed. So what I have to do And I have a hot tip actually regarding this, and that's how to dump your fresh water while you're boondocking. Is I have to drain the water into my gray and black water tanks with a water pump. And to do this, you need to have spare capacity in your batteries when you're boondocking to do this. So now I have to drain the fresh water into the wastewater tanks in the sinks and also in my toilet as well. So now I'm done draining all the excess water from my fresh water tank into my waste black and gray water tanks now. So next up is I have to move in the slide out back into my travel trailer. Now I have this electrical switch. It's a 12 volt wired up device, so I just push in. And the very last item on my checklist is to get my travel trailer off the leveling blocks. And I have to pick them up and store them away for my next camping trip. Episode 1 of my new YouTube video series, Travel Trailer Camping Journal, has just come to an end. It's departure day and it's ready to go home and join my family. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed it very much, leave a comment down below this video and let me know if you want to see more videos like this, especially for newbies at travel trailer camping. Until next time, be safe, have fun. Goodbye.